Hi, I'm Kelsey from beabetterguide.com and welcome to part 2 of 8 in this Be a Better Guide free course on how to earn more in tips as a tour guide. First and foremost, there's a high correlation between what you earn in tips and the price of your tour. So this is something to keep in mind. On a longer tour, generally it's going to cost more, and generally you're going to get tipped more. And the same thing goes if you have a price that's set at a premium level or it's at a lower level. But that's something to keep in mind if you do have a control over the price of your tour, that if you can bump up your pricing or deliver a premium experience, there's a good chance that you're going to start getting premium tips as well. And if you're out there thinking about a job in the guiding industry, know that you're going to get much more income if you are working on tours that are premium, more expensive, or even longer. Clearly, you need to be an incredible guide. That is central to the whole idea. There's no workarounds that you're going to find in this course, but that's what the whole Be a Better Guide site is devoted to. So we're going to leave that there, not to say that it's not important, but just that on this course, we're going to focus on the tipping and gratuities. The single largest factor over whether people tip you or not, or how much they tip you, is the perceived value that they got from you as their tour guide and their perceived value of the tour. Whatever the price of your tour, guests need to feel like you've delivered more value than they were expecting. I'll repeat that again. No matter the price of your tour, to get great tips, your guests need to feel like you've delivered more value than they were expecting. So first and foremost, look at your tour description. Figure out what they're expecting from what they've purchased, because they've gone on TripAdvisor, they've gone on your site, they already have expectations of what's going to happen on the tour. So you need to now brainstorm how you can go above and beyond that tour description, right? Are there bonuses? Are there add-ons? How can you add value as a tour guide? That's going to be the secret. So here's a couple of my suggestions on how you can do this. Can you show or share something as a surprise on your tour? And not like a surprise, the tour's half hour longer, or surprise, a bunch of clowns, but more like a pleasant surprise, like, hey, here's an ice cream cake kind of surprise. For example, can you introduce them to some local character? That's a great way to add value or add your perceived value, because a lot of people want to talk to the locals and hear from somebody, but they can't, not comfortable just going up on the street and who to talk to. Another great thing is, can you get them access to somewhere that the public can't normally get to? Let's say you're doing a brewery tour, and people expect they're going to go to a bunch of breweries, you'll try a bunch of beer, but all of a sudden you as a tour guide call out, Fat Bruno, who's this, friend of yours who works at the brewery or the brewmaster or something like that. And all of a sudden he's got some keys, and he can take you down this winding staircase right into the basement, where all the good stuff happens, the malting, the hopping, and you get this really incredible experience, all because Fat Bruno. I'm going to give you another example from a friend of mine named Dario. And Dario is an Italian tour guide, and he is able to make a killing on tips because of the way that he sets up the perception of his tour, the way he frames his tour. Here's what he does. So he lived near Siena. So Siena is sort of a medieval town. Just to give you a bit of background, this is where the famous horse race happens. And the whole of Siena is divided up into sort of communities, but it's a lot more than just a community, and they're called contrada. Now, to get into one of those contradas, you need to be a member of that community group. It's barred to the public. You can't just go to Siena and go into them. So his tour, and what he does is he's a member of a contrada, and he brings people in. He gets these people from all over the world right into the beating heart of one of the contrada, and there's the costumes and the flags and pictures from the horse race, and it's this really incredible experience, and it's all happening because of him. See how that's happening? It's because he is your tour guide, you are able to see those things. So this is a ton of value, a ton of perceived value from these guests, because if we didn't book with Dario, we wouldn't have been able to do this. That's the type of thing you want to create on your tour. Another suggestion I have for you is try taking something out of your tour description, so that way when you do it on your tour, it's more of a pleasant surprise than just something that your guests are expecting. You have to be careful because you don't want to take too much out of the tour description, but find a few things that are really impressive, really awesome awesome, take them out of there and then do it as a pleasant surprise. And finally, one of the best things you can do is give a small token, gift, or physically like some sort of present that you can give your guests near the end of the tour right before they're giving you the gratuity. So check out the next video to have your mind blown by a really cool academic study that was done. That's going to really rock your world, I think. So it's how these little tiny gifts can actually make a big difference in tips. But before you go, scroll down to those comment sections and let me know how you add perceived value. What are you doing right now? Or if you've got some ideas brewing already, let other guides know, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Thanks.